Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Nick?
Pretty good. I've just tuned into this show the last couple of days, and I think it's absolutely fascinating. So thank you for providing some perspective that isn't available anywhere else.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.
No problem. I'm actually kind of an oddity. I'm a member of a group called the Gay Christian Network. We're gays and lesbians who have been rejected by the church, and a lot of us have a lot of different ideas. And one thing I'm finding in that forum is that there's a lot of us with, some people who say that they don't even believe in God. We have a lot of the same political aspirations, things like what you've been talking about, things like taking creationism out of the science classroom. I see a lot of shared goals, even though there's these groups of people who have vastly differing ideas about God. I just thought I would get your opinion. How do you think things should play out so that we can all quit pointing at one another and saying good guy, bad guy, and start working together even though we have differing beliefs?
Stop imposing. I think you hit the nail on the head by stop imposing beliefs upon one another. It's like you're saying, you can be a Christian and not feel the need to go and teach children in a public school your religion. And there are Christians who are against that because they understand that if we start teaching creationism in school, maybe a type of creationism is going to get taught that's not the type I want my kid to learn, even though I'm a Christian. So when you start to promote a religious view in a science classroom or in a public school at all, what you're doing is you're not just screwing with secularism, you're screwing with all the other religions that might not agree with the religious view that you're promoting. So it's a problem for everybody, not just for people that aren't religious. But yeah, it's the imposition. It's like Matt was saying earlier. It's hard to be offended by a Buddhist because they're not knocking on your door trying to tell you that you need to become a Buddhist or you're going to go to hell. How do you get offended by somebody that keeps their beliefs to themselves and practices their thing and they don't hurt anybody?
Yeah,
right.
My thing is that the First Amendment covers two different things. One is the freedom of religion and expression, and the other one is with regard to the establishment religion. As I said earlier on, the only practical application of that establishment clause is government neutrality. But to touch on freedom of religion and free expression, I fully support that as well because, first of all, there's absolutely no way to enforce any kind of thought crime legislation. The conscience is only available to the individual. I don't know what you believe or what you don't believe. I know what you tell me you believe, and I can agree with you or disagree. I can believe that you really believe this or that you're lying, but your conscience is your own. And everyone must be free. There's no other option. There's no way to stop them to follow the dictates of their conscience. They are free to hold whatever beliefs they want. You can proselytize. You can preach. You can stand on public property, on street corners, and preach that the end is nigh. Right. Where we draw the line is where your rights of free expression interfere and invade with the rights of other people. And when they start legislating. We're not a majority rule society, and yet I can't count the number of times that somebody calls in to tell me we are. No, we're not. Right. The Constitution exists to protect the rights of the minority from the women of the majority. That's it.
From the perspective of doing damage control, you certainly should understand this, having been raised in the Southern Baptist Church. I was too. There's very much a sense of they're out there and they want to do you harm and they want to take away your beliefs. And from watching the show, I don't see that. And interacting with gay Christians in the gay Christian community, I don't see that they're all out to molest little boys and do things that are commonly associated with those types of people by the church. I don't know what the step is that needs to be taken to be able to get everybody on the same team where common concerns are up in the air. I would just like to be able to see us as a group of human beings take some steps towards achieving things that are in all of our best interests.
Right. And I think that once religion comes into play with it, religion is automatically in the proselytizing religions, they're automatically divisive. So, if I go to promote a movement like you're talking about, and I just say, let's just get some people together and promote this movement, I don't see why religion has to come into that at all. Like, even if I'm religious, why does religion have to come into that? Why can't I be inviting anybody? If it's a movement that's meant to benefit society, to benefit people, why do I need to then insert a religious motive instead of just saying, why don't we all just get together and do something good?
Well, the conundrum for me is I do believe in Jesus, and I see Jesus in the New Testament praying for that very thing, Lord, let them all be one.
Right.
And yet, you're right, divisiveness is the the ingredient for success where many evangelical groups are concerned.
Right, and what my thing is, like, you sound like the type of person that if we did do like a group thing and said we're going to get together, we're going to do this, it's going to be helpful to the community, that you would be the type of person that could go there and do that thing and make whatever personal motivation you want with your religion without having to thrust that on somebody else.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder how we get everybody else on the same page.
I'm not sure you can.
Yeah, I don't know that you actually can. I think you do what you can to work together. You don't give up. If you don't mind, we're almost out of time, but since I've got you, and it's rare that we get somebody in your position, I don't want to get into a big discussion about this. I was just going to ask, as somebody who's a Christian who believes in Jesus, and I'm presuming you're gay because of what you were talking about the church you were involved with. How do you get around the biblical position on homosexuality?
I get around it by saying that this is Christianity, not the Apostle Paulianity. I think that Jesus is the final word on everything, and Paul is a great guy who's got a lot of good things to say, but I don't think that he's the same as Jesus.
Yeah, but Jesus continually supports the Old Testament and Moses' law. He doesn't ever say that it stops.
That's true.
So,
but he does. He does act. with more compassion than what you ever see anyone. I think he leads by example.
I think there's a character issue there that may be the case, but I think probably what's happening is you're not taking those bits of the Bible as literal word of God.
Yeah, exactly. And I get a lot of flack for my unwillingness to believe in the quote inerrant word of God. But that's what I find myself gravitating towards more and more.
Okay. That's all I had. It's just one of those things that comes up as a curiosity from time to time.
No problem. You guys are doing a great job. Please keep providing perspective so that we can get rid of all this good guy, bad guy role-playing that we do in our imaginations.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it.